Amigos de Futuro, ustedes ya lo ven, estamos con Mark Jansen de Epica para hablar de su nuevo disco, Omega, el nuevo disco de Epica que está saliendo por estos días, así que hay harto que hablar al respecto. Entremos en materia. Well, Mark, we are here to talk about your new album with Epica, Omega. So, first of all, how do you feel about the fact of releasing new material in this context, pandemic context? The world is a very strange place right now. So, for you to finally have a new album.
Yeah, first of all, and besides the period we are living in, I'm very excited that the album is going to get released. It's of course it's a more difficult time than usually. That's true, because we cannot do a tour right away after an album release, what we usually do. But I'm also happy that we release an album during these times, because I know that many people are going through some difficult times, and people with music, they can feel happiness. So I hope that with our music we can contribute to a little bit of happiness in people. And even if it's a small amount, every little bit makes a difference.
Muy bien. Okay, let me translate what you said for everybody to understand, sure. Okay. Bien, nos dice ahí Mark que por supuesto es algo raro estar sacando un disco en estas circunstancias como está el mundo ahora, pero que es bueno al mismo tiempo darle música a la gente, que es algo que hace bien, aunque sea un pequeño aporte, pero son cosas que ayudan a mejorar nuestra vida. Así es, por supuesto. Han pasado 5 años desde el último larga duración de Epica, que fue The Holographic Principle. Queremos que nos hable de todo lo que ha sido este intermedio. Han sacado algunos EPs, han hecho cosas, en fin. Mark, it's been 5 years since your last LP, The Holographic Principle. On these last years, you released some EPs and made some other things. So tell us how has been for you these last 5 years for Epica without an LP, doing different things. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the time was flying. We didn't realize it was already 5 years until somebody told us that it was 5 years between the albums. So yeah, we've been very busy, first of all, with the Holographic Principle tour. So it took very long to play all the shows. We released also 2 EPs and 1 book that also was quite some effort. And next to that, we did a little break to reload the batteries, like half a year, doing some other things in life. And then when we came back together to write the album, it was already, and when we finished the writing, we recorded. And then the album was postponed half a year. So now that it gets released, it's already 5 years, longer than we thought it would be.
Sí, claro, dice, ha pasado bastante en estos últimos 5 años, sacaron 2 EPs, un libro, se tomaron un break ahí entre medio, después se volvieron a juntar para empezar a escribir, vino todo ese proceso de preparación del disco, y cuando debía haber salido vino todo esto que se empezaron a postergar las cosas, así se sumaron 5 años, pero finalmente ya está saliendo Omega, lo nuevo de Epica, que tiene un contenido bastante interesante, igual que el anterior, tiene todo un rollo que nos va a explicar ahora Mark. Well, Mark, in the previous album, The Holographic Principle has a very heavy inspiration about the holographic principle itself, all this theory about holograms and all of that. And now Omega, it talks again about a very heavy concept about the Omega point. Please explain us about the whole concept that is behind Omega.
Yeah, the Omega point theory states that we are fated as universe, but also as mankind, to swirl towards one point of unification. And I truly believe that we are all connected to each other as humanity, as with the earth, with the animal life, even with trees. Everything is connected. So you cannot see yourself separated from all these other things, because you're just simply connected. On quantum physics scale, it's proven that we are connected, because on quantum physics scale, they can see that energy flows from everything that is in the universe. So there's simply no separation. And that became the starting point for writing all the songs for this album. So you have a good time translating this stuff.
Sí, bueno, nos cuenta un poco de la temática del disco Omega, que tiene que ver con la teoría del punto Omega, que es algo que viene del punto alfa y tiene toda esa evolución hasta que llega a lo que es el Omega, y que finalmente es que todo está conectado dentro de esta vida que vivimos, que hay una energía que parte desde un punto, termina en otra, pero finalmente se hace como una especie de círculo y se arman ahí unas conexiones muy especiales. Toda esa es la teoría que está plasmada en el disco Omega, así que junto con escuchar las canciones, métanse ahí a ver las letras para que aprendan un poco más de todo esto, todos estos rollos que se pasa Epica. Tienen por supuesto una inspiración muy especial, de eso queremos que nos hablen. Mark, please tell us about the inspiration that you get to write about these topics. Where do you find this inspiration? To read books, see some movies, documentaries? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a mix of all these things. So I watch a lot of documentaries, but I also read many books. I read also scientific papers, and everything what I can find, what is interesting to me, I dive deeper into. But it also is kind of normal movies like The Matrix or The Truman Show can also give me inspiration, because these two movies, the Truman Show and The Matrix, they are very, very well done. And also a movie like Avatar, there's a lot of deeper truth in these kind of movies, and they are so fantastic that they also give me inspiration as well.
Sí, claro, dice que la inspiración para escribir de todas estas cosas, teorías científicas, vienen no solamente de libros, de documentales y cosas así, lee también algunos papers científicos por ahí, incluso películas como Matrix, The Truman Show, Avatar, cosas que también le han despertado cierta curiosidad, y algunas ideas por ahí que después se ven reflejadas en la música. Todo esto que les decíamos de cómo se conectan las cosas, el alfa con el omega, puede ser también un reflejo del momento que está viviendo Epica, juntando realmente cosas de distintas épocas que están conectadas. A ver qué es lo que cree nuestro amigo Mark. Well, Mark, all this theory about the connections between different points, alpha, omega, and all of that, maybe it's a symbol of what's going on with Epica right now. Maybe the different stages of the band through the years are connecting right now on one point. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Also with Epica, we go through different stages. When you're young, for example, you write music together, you're more having the tendency to fight for your ideas, even if nobody agrees. Because when you're young, you think your idea is the best. When you grow older and more experienced as musician, you learn more to listen to each other and to do it more together. So as a band, you go through these stages as well. So we as a band now are more working in more unity than ever before. And I think it's because of the experience. So like the Omega Point theory is also working for Epica.
Sure. Bueno, nos dice que, claro, puede ser que en el momento que esté viviendo Epica se ve representada esa evolución, ese paso de un punto a otro en las conexiones, porque la evolución de lo que ha sido la carrera de ellos ha sido también la evolución de sus vidas. Ellos partieron cuando eran más jóvenes, por supuesto, ya han pasado casi 20 años desde los inicios de Epica, y ellos han crecido todo ese tiempo, así que algo que ha ido a la par. Todas estas conexiones que se dan en la vida se están dando también, por supuesto, en la carrera de Epica. Podemos escuchar el disco ya, Omega, y está bastante interesante en cuanto a sonido. Tiene un poco de todo lo que ha sido Epica a lo largo de su carrera. Está muy bien balanceado. A ver si nos habla de eso. Well, we were talking about the ideas that you put on this record, but the sound of the album, it sounds very connected too. It seems to have a bit of everything that Epica had through the career of the band. Is very balanced in that sense. So please tell me about that. You try to put a bit of everything on the album.
Yeah, that's true. Also, the sound itself, it's like a summary of all the career of Epica coming to fruition. So we listened to our all albums, and we thought, let's take the strong points out of every album and combine that to a new, massive new album. And also sound-wise, we decided to change a few things, because we didn't want everything to happen at the same time, but sometimes give the guitars a bit of priority, sometimes the orchestra, instead of all the time everything happening at the same time. And so balance is the right word for this album. With everything, we try to keep the balance between the old Epica style, the new Epica style, between hard and soft parts, between songs. Everything was balanced.
Mm-hmm. Bien, sí, dice que el balance es justamente como la palabra adecuada para definir el sonido por el que apostaron ahora, que tiene diferentes elementos. Por una parte los instrumentos de una banda de metal típicos, y por otro lado hay harta orquestación, pero trataron de que estuviera todo en su lugar preciso, que no fuera como una sola majamama de cosas, sino que estuvieran bien balanceados los instrumentos, la orquestación, todo junto. Así que sí, un disco muy interesante en ese sentido para Epica en cuanto a sonido. Hablemos de música en vivo, que es algo que no ha podido hacer la banda en bastante tiempo. Seguramente lo extraña mucho. Mark, let's talk about live music, because it's been a very tough year. You didn't play, you didn't have the opportunity to meet face to face with the fans. Maybe for a musician it's very hard to live that. I don't know, how much do you miss the live shows?
Yeah, first of all, it's indeed for a band, it's shows, live shows. It's actually the thing that gives you the opportunity to make a living from this profession. So now that it's gone, it's very difficult for most bands. Luckily, we are still making it possible. We found our way to still survive, luckily. But we're missing it, and especially, like you said, the connection with the people, to feel what the music does to people, to feel the energy. That's what I miss the most. So it's difficult, but I think for many people it's more difficult than for us. So there's many people now who are without job at all, or who are having a lot of debts because the pandemic is still continuing. So I'm not complaining about us. It's more worse for other people. So I feel more bad for other people than for ourselves, actually.
Muy bien, nos dice que sí, por supuesto, como músico ha sido muy difícil, un año sin poder tocar, sin poder encontrarse con la gente cara a cara, lo que están habituados, pero dice que es parte de lo que le ha tocado a todo el mundo, que hay gente que lo ha pasado mucho peor, que se ha quedado sin su trabajo y está pasando momentos muy complicados. Hablamos de música en vivo porque Epica se iba a presentar en Chile primero en 2019, se corrió después para 2020 y ahora la última vez que se corrió la fecha quedó para diciembre de este año. A ver qué es lo que pasa con eso. Mark, we were talking about live shows because Epica we're going to play here in Chile, well, in South America, in 2019, and then you had to reschedule the world tour, and now you got a date, if I remember, in December for this year. Well, we don't know if at that point we will we will have concerts.
Yeah, we don't know.
But I don't know. What do you think? We will have concerts this year? Epica will come to Chile this year? What do you think?
Yeah, it's very hard to tell because everything changes always fastly. So sometimes you think like it's possible, and sometimes you think it's not possible. I don't know yet. But if it's not possible this year, we postpone it again, and we will come sooner or later. It's just a matter of when it's possible. So hopefully the situation is much better at the end of this year already. But if there's new mutations coming and governments keep things closed, then there's nothing we can do. We have to see what is possible and what's not. But first of all, it's important that everybody is staying healthy. That's most important above all.
Yeah. Sí, bueno, naturalmente nos dice que no sabe lo que va a pasar, ¿eh? El año está empezando, quizás de aquí a diciembre pueda hacerse algo, pero si habrá que posponerlo, se pospone, simplemente habrá que seguir esperando. Lo más importante es la salud de las personas. Ese concierto que iban a hacer en Chile al principio era celebrando 10 años de su disco Design Your Universe, que estaba de aniversario, y ahora seguramente tendrá otro sentido también presentando el nuevo material. Mark, that concert in Chile, the first idea was doing an anniversary show of the album Design Your Universe. You remember that? Well, now maybe it will take another sense because you got new material. So
yes,
in the case that you will give this show, it will be, I don't know, the two things.
Yeah, for sure we will still play some Design Universe songs, but indeed now we have new albums, so there will be also the focus on the new album. Yeah, sometimes things change indeed, and you cannot foresee it. So initially it was indeed the Design Universe based, but now it's going to be multiple based.
Sí, claro, bueno, harán un poco de todo, dice que siguen tocando canciones de Design Your Universe, así que ese aniversario puede ser parte también de lo que hagan en un eventual show, si es que llega a hacerse, y por supuesto mostrar lo nuevo. La manera más segura de tocar hoy en día es estos shows online, seguramente tienen algo en mente. Mark, the most safe way to play music live right now is make online shows, you know, by streaming. Do you have in mind something like that with this new album?
Yeah, it's definitely one of the options that we can do, because if it takes long before we can play live shows, then definitely we will start looking into the online streaming options, because we want to play also the new material for our fans. So even though it's not as great as a real show, it's at least better than nothing, I think. I also watched some online show myself, like Behemoth, and it's still enjoyable. Even though live at the show it's the best.
Sí, por supuesto que están pensando en hacer algo así, que no es lo óptimo, no se compara a un concierto real, por supuesto, pero es lo que hay por ahora. Así que mientras pueden volver los conciertos presenciales más masivos, sería la opción. Hagamos un poco de historia. Epica ha llegado a ser una banda muy importante dentro de su estilo, ¿no? De metal sinfónico. Nos gustaría saber la visión que tiene Mark Jansen de todo lo que ha sido este recorrido. Mark, let's make a bit of history. You know, Epica is a very important band right now in this style of symphonic metal, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, symphonic metal is fine.
And there are many new bands that we can see a lot of influence from Epica. I don't know, when you look back and see all you have done in the metal scene, what do you think about what Epica is right now, the influence on new bands and all of that?
But by the way, you have cats?
Huh? Excuse me?
You have a cat?
A cat, yeah. No.
Yeah. I also have cats. I love cats, so I heard meow, so I thought you have a cat. Yeah, but when I hear that bands are influenced by Epica, it always makes me very proud that people get their inspiration from us, just like we got our inspiration from also bands that we listened to in the past. So it's like a circle. You pass on the inspiration, and the bands that now get inspired by us, they will inspire future bands as well. So it's a never-ending circle of inspiration.
Sí, claro, dice que por supuesto está muy orgulloso de lo que ha llegado a ser Epica, y se ve que algunas bandas han tomado un poco de ese legado, y que tiene que ver un poco con lo que hablábamos antes, de toda esta circulación de energías, de cosas que se van conectando, y que así va avanzando la vida y todas las escenas. Bien, ya nos va pillando el tiempo, así que a ver si finalmente nos deja unas palabras para los fans chilenos, por supuesto. Mark, please, our time is coming to an end, so finally, do you have some final words for your fans here in Chile?
Chi, 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 le, pipa, chile. No, it's always great to play in Chile, and I really cannot wait that we finally can play this show that people now already waiting for so long. And but like I said, first of all, I hope that everybody stays healthy, and also everybody's family, so that we get through this period fine. And after chaos, after periods of chaos, comes always times of beauty. So I always stay optimistic, and then when we get out of this, things will be great, I think.
Muy bien, ahí estaba el saludo de Mark Jansen, deseando por supuesto que todos estemos bien acá en nuestro país. Se acuerda por supuesto de cómo son las cosas por acá. Ahí está el grito de Chile y su mensaje, que después del caos siempre viene algo bueno, algo hermoso. Well, thank you very much, Mark, for your time.
Thank you too.
Congratulations for the album, great album by the way, and we will wait for the moment when we will see you live.
Yes, hopefully not too long, but it's gonna happen sooner or later.
Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you too. Cheers. Bye bye.